Fantastic, everyone. So, welcome to tonight's webinar, the quickest hour of my week, where we're going to deep dive into radical self acceptance, loving you just as you are, which gives birth to total confidence as best as we can, moment to moment, anyway. So the session is recorded. So if you need to log off early, don't worry, you can catch the replay on YouTube. That'll be uploaded by 10 p.m. tonight. Or if you want to share the content with friends, that's also cool. And yeah, feel free to share the YouTube link to whoever might be interested. Tell me in the chat box where you're logging in from. Where are you in the world right now? I am in Hua Hin, Thailand, about 3 hours south, Bangkok, of course. Now, I am going to run through some slides. So if there's anything that interests you, take a screenshot, help yourself, take notes, whatever you need to do. And I love technology and technology loves me. Okay, I think we're good. If at any point you lose me or the thing goes quiet or you can't see the screen, just unmute yourself and say, Luke, we can't see you. That would be awesome. All right, let us jump in. Radical self-acceptance, the path to confidence. Come on, computer. Yeah, a little bit of old techno there. Anyone having a blast from the past as they hear that music? Very good. So let's jump straight in here. Clearly, my computer is having challenges with me today, and we're just going to go with it. I found a few definitions of confidence. Confidence is a very fascinating word. So I think if our goal today is to develop confidence through the path of radical self-acceptance, we want to get some pretty clear with some definitions. It does mean different things to different people. So I've got a couple of definitions here, and if you have your own definition of confidence, what does it mean to you? Please go ahead and drop that in the chat box as well. Here's the first one: the steady trust in your ability to navigate uncertainty. Now, we live in the world we live in at the moment. It's really tough to know or predict what's going to happen tomorrow. So, confidence is this trust in yourself that whatever happens outside of you, it's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. And in fact, every time we grow, every time we get out of the comfort zone, we're stepping into the unknown. We're stepping into the area that we don't know that we don't know. So you want to get good at navigating uncertainty, because guess what? Then you're going to expand and grow, and then there's another level, and then there's another level, and then there's another level. And each version of you requires stepping out of the comfort zone into that uncertainty. Here's the second one: freedom to be fully yourself without needing external approval. Now, of course, external approval is okay, right? The good job, well done, thanks for doing that. That's all absolutely okay and part of this human connection that is important to us. However, you can still function without needing this external approval. And in doing so, you are free. You are liberated. Your internal compass is good enough for you. Now, again, being open to receiving feedback, getting information from friends or trusted colleagues, that's totally okay, but you don't need it to survive. That's confidence. Confidence is also the alignment of self-belief and action, right? So, belief alone isn't going to create the life that you want. One of my old mentors said, Luke, words don't cook the rice, right? So thinking alone or belief alone doesn't cook the rice or get the thing done. We have to match that with some kind of action. And here's my favorite: belief in one's own ability. belief in one's own ability. Now, that's not to say that we can't still keep improving on ourselves. I think we can safely say we're a work in progress and we're also perfect exactly the way that we are. Right? We are a work in progress. We do want to have a growth mindset. We do want to continue to grow and expand. And I can fully accept myself just as I am right now, doing the best that I can. And so I can believe in my ability to grow. I can believe in my ability to have that tough conversation, to lead that new project, to start my own business or whatever it means. So, this is a few definitions of confidence. Feel free to let me know in the chat box if you have any alternatives. Now, again, while we're talking about definitions, what is radical self-acceptance? Let's take a look. Fully acknowledging every part of yourself, your strengths, your flaws, everything about you, all of you, and you feel worthy because you are worthy. Right. Those of you who have studied with me before or here at Coachology, we talk about limiting beliefs. Well, one of the largest limiting beliefs that we have, and for those who are hearing about limiting beliefs for the first time, limiting beliefs are kind of like a virus in your computer. When you get a virus in the computer, it slows down and it hangs, just like my computer was doing a moment ago. Well, guess what? These limiting beliefs do the same thing for us. And according to Tony Robbins and a few other gurus out there, one of the biggest limiting beliefs that we have as humans is I'm not worthy. And how does that translate? Well, these limiting beliefs, which we were kind of programmed with as a child unconsciously, I'm not worthy of success. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of that promotion. I'm not good enough, right? All of these kind of self-talk limiting beliefs will keep us at that same level. But the truth is, you are worthy. I am worthy. We are worthy just because we exist, and that is enough. Next one. Releasing the struggle to be better and choosing to value yourself simply because you exist. Now, I made up this last little word here. I don't know if it's a thing or not. Your isness. Can we make new words up here today? Is that all right? Your isness. Just the fact that you exist, that you are existing, that is your isness. And no one does it like you. No one can be you, and you can't be anyone else. So just surrender and accept your isness at this place in time. Right? Now, again, this need and hunger to continue to grow, I get it. Again, you've heard me talk about the importance of a growth mindset 1,000 times. And you can continue to grow and you can be happy right where you are at the same time. You can accept yourself where you are on your journey at this moment in time and embrace your isness. And my favorite, it's the practice of loving yourself exactly as you are, with no judgment or resistance and no conditions. So just full and total acceptance, especially with the no conditions, right? Like, we've all have our past. We've all had our ups and downs. We've all gone through stuff, some more than others, but it's not a competition. You can just love yourself exactly as you are, knowing that you have the opportunity to create your future. You can decide to let go of those things that are holding you back, right? I don't know. I'm going off script here a little bit. I just did a beautiful 1 hour breath work session, just on the furniture here behind me. Beautiful guided meditation, and my intention was letting go. And then I thought to myself, I came out of this beautiful breath work and it was a meditation afterwards. And I thought, if I could just let go of my negative thinking, and if I could let go of those limiting beliefs, and if I could just let go of the opinion of others, then I can just be authentically me. And that is radical self-acceptance. Just let it all go, right? Most of it's distorted or in some way not even true because over time we replay things and we distort it. Just let it go. And as we let all of that go, you really step into your own power. You can be perfect in your imperfection. That's another definition of radical self-acceptance. Okay. I want to see the chats. Come on, Zoom, do it for me, baby. So, yes, Bangkok, Singapore. Okay, I need to scroll down. Very good. Yes, practice of loving self along with the self-doubt. How to delete this. We're going to get to self-doubt in a moment. Thank you very much for bringing it up. All right, let's go. Here are the hidden thought patterns that erode this self-confidence, that erode this radical self-acceptance. So let's take a look at these hidden thought patterns. Pattern number one, the comparison trap. When we're constantly measuring myself, against others, feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt will show up, right? So here's the thing. We go through life either consciously or unconsciously, and we're always comparing ourselves to other people. Now, the truth is, we don't really know what's going on in their life. We don't know their story, right? Yeah, they might have a nice car or they might have a beautiful house or a villa or something, but we don't know what they're going through. We don't know how they sleep at night. We don't know the traumas, the dramas, and the challenges that they've had. We don't know their level of happiness. This outside mask that most people wear, that's not authentic and it's not really who they are. Right? Now, don't get me wrong, nice things are nice to have. Don't get me wrong. Yet, when you are trying to compare yourself with someone else, you've only got a glimpse of their life. You don't know what's going on. They could be totally and utterly miserable with their Rolex and their BMW. Like, do you want to be that? Do you want to have that stuff just so you can be miserable? No. So the key point I want to make here to overcome this self-doubt and to get beyond this self-doubt and this comparison trap is to simply don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions, right? We don't know what's going on in someone else's life. So why compare to them when we're getting a tiny little glimpse of his or her life, right? So just here's another piece of advice my mentor gave me. Tend your own garden. Tend means take care of. Take care of your own garden. There's always going to be people that are better than you. There are going to be people that are not as good as you. If you just eliminate all of that and don't make assumptions what they're thinking or doing or what's going on in their life, and you direct that energy back into yourself, you can control the things that are within your control. You tend your own garden. You pull out your own weeds and you do the watering and you do the fertilizing and everything. Just don't make assumptions. What other people think of you is none of your business. It's just not. What other people think of you is none of your business. And every time we do that, we're making assumptions. And those assumptions are often wrong. And they create this massive self-doubt. Should I? Is that right? Is that wrong? Just do your best and don't make those assumptions. As soon as you start making an assumption, you're comparing yourself to a ghost. Chances are it's probably not even true. or they're living some kind of miserable life that you don't want to be a part of anyway. So, solution, how do we get beyond that? Aside from don't make assumptions, you can practice gratitude. I've started journaling again after this beautiful breathwork session I just did. I wrote down all my thoughts on this letting go process. And so that's a way for me to practice gratitude. I write down in a diary. I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. I celebrate small wins, small personal wins, right? That refocus back onto you. And that can be something like really, really simple, like you did some exercise, you went for a walk, you woke up early, you did 5 minutes of meditation, anything that you can do that helps you to continually improve, well, you can feel good about that. And then you don't have to compare yourself to others. The hidden thought pattern number 2, the inner critic. Have you noticed we have 2 little voices? Remember the cartoons as a kid? One is an angel. You're amazing. You're awesome. And the other one's like the devil. You'll never do it. You won't succeed. Well, that persistent self-judging voice that magnifies the flaws, and I like to call it the should have monster. Oh, Luke, you should have done that. Oh, Luke, you should have done that. Oh, my goodness, Luke, why didn't you do that? Oh, you should have done this. Well, should have done that according to who? Who's the authority? Whose authority are you waiting for to say that you should do this? Right? It's often an echo that someone gave you a hard time growing up. It could have been a teacher, the bully in the neighborhood. It could have been a caregiver or a brother or someone else, that you should do this and you should do that. That is obviously going to link back to self-doubt, and your confidence is just gone. But here's the thing. I should do this according to who? Who has that authority over you? The answer is no one does. Right? You have to step it back into your own power if you truly want to be authentically you. This self-acceptance means you need to delete these delusional opinions of others. And I should have, just take that word out of your mouth and throw it in the rubbish. Just practice to not say, oh, I should have, blah, 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 fill in the gap. Solution. Learn to identify and name the critic, right? So when you do hear this little inner critic, spot it, practice a little bit of self-awareness, and then reframe those negative thoughts into neutral or positive language. That's one way to do it. But here's another option. Always do your best. Now, some of you might recognize these ones in bold here. They're from the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Yes, some of you are noticing that. Hopefully, this is a slightly different perspective on that learning. Here's the thing. When you do your best, regret and guilt and the should haves, they almost fade to nothing. Right? And of course, our best changes from time to time. If you're, a bit sick, then your best won't be as good. But it's still going to be your best in that moment. And when you're, Christy, my wife, and also a coach, when we're having any challenges in life, for example, not too long ago, her sister passed away, her younger sister, shocking. And, we had to go through this whole process of not only the grief, but dealing with the family. And without going into the details, it wasn't easy. And whenever we had to make a decision or take some kind of action, we would stop, we would pause, and then we would ask ourselves, have we done our best in this situation? And if the answer was yes, we just let it go, and then we executed on that action, right? And by doing that, regardless of whatever happens next, we know that in that moment of time, because we consciously asked ourselves, is this doing our best? Can we do better than this? And if the answer was nope, that's our best, then let it go. Move on, right? You've done your best. So the guilt, the shame, the regret, all of that is gone. And what does that do? That inner critic, that's what this feeling of guilt and regret comes from. That's the feeling as the result of the inner critic. So the inner critic is da, 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 and then directly after that comes the guilt, the shame, and the regret. So when you do your best, and again, when you're feeling stuck, am I doing my best? Can I do any better in this? And you can do that in the moment. Freedom is the result. Perfectionism. Any perfectionists on the call today? Oh, you don't have to raise your hand. It's okay. You know who you are. Believing you must get it right before you act. Oh, it's kind of like how long is a piece of string, right? And here is the solution. Adopt a progress over perfection mindset. Because again, when we think about perfection, well, perfection according to who? What is the authority that says that is perfect? Because what you deem perfect might not be perfect for your boss, right? So it's better to get 99% than 100% a month later with all that procrastination and self-talk and the inner critic and I'm not good enough, right? That's, if we want to take it a little bit deeper, perfectionism shows up when we have that self-doubt, when we have that lack of self-worth. You don't believe that it's good enough at 99.9%, so you want to go for that extra mile. So take imperfect action. Always do your best. Do the best you can with the resources that you have. And then if you make a mistake, simply treat those mistakes as data and learning. Now, here's another little trick, a question you can ask yourself. This is a self-coaching question. And remember, we're on the topic here of radical self-acceptance in order that I can feel confident. So if you find yourself, you've got, you're comparing yourself, you've got the inner critic going on, you've got some perfectionism at play, some other things going on, and you're still stuck on that event that either just happened the day before, last week, last month, last year, last decade, whenever it happened, you can ask yourself, what needs to happen for me to get to the point of acceptance of that thing that happened in the past? What needs to happen? Right? Now, whatever answer comes up for you, guess what? What do? You do that thing. Whatever the answer that came up, you just do that thing. And if that's what you need to do to get to the point of acceptance, then you will live happily ever after. A couple of chats there. One moment. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
That's okay. I made a mistake. It's okay.
Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. Okay, got it. Thank you. Cool. All right. I don't know if you guys have heard this guy's name. His name is Bashar. He's one of these channels who channels different people in different places in the universe or a parallel universe. And this is his affirmation, which links all of these three inner critic, these things that are going on. I am who I am, and that is enough. I am who I am, and that is enough. And so if you wanted to explore this, I think this would be a beautiful thing to practice in the mornings. As soon as you wake up, right, you can go to the bathroom first if you need to, and just practice this for a few days and just notice what happens. Just for me saying it just now, I feel a sense of calmness. I feel a sense of groundedness. I am who I am, and that is enough. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It's okay that I am who I am. And in doing so, this will help you overcome all of these 3 hidden thought patterns. Yeah? Cool. If you do have questions, be sure to drop them into the chat box. I will do my best to see them and answer them. So, 3 steps to radical self-acceptance, in addition to what we've just learned just now. Step number 1 is to acknowledge, right? So, whatever feeling, whatever thought comes up, right, without any self-judgment or without any denying it, just acknowledge what has come up, right? I feel anxious that I might fail this presentation. Okay, so just feel that. Just notice that it's there. Just acknowledge it. I'm judging myself for not finishing this project on time. Okay, that's all right. Just notice the emotion, right? It's trapped emotions or unexpressed emotions. That's what cause this human biological system. That's what causes the most problems. And the more emotions you have trapped, it's like looking through the world with a distorted lens. Like your glasses are all muddy or foggy or all scratched up. You can't see because you're perceiving the world and yourself through this distorted lens of reality. So it's okay to briefly acknowledge what's going on. I notice a tightness in my chest and a thought that I'm not good enough. So again, just acknowledge it. Then allow. This is step number 2. Again, this is whenever this self-doubt and that inner critic and all of those little nigglies pop up. This is the process. Sit with the feeling, sit with the thought for 30 seconds without trying to fix it, right? Most of us, especially the leaders on the call, problem, we want to jump to the solution. Problem, and we're very, very solution focused, which is good. And if we acknowledge and then allow just to notice, don't fix it yet. Take a slow breath and silently think, this is what anxiety feels like in my body, and that's okay. For this brief moment, there you are. Hello, anxiety, right? Emotions are simply a message from your unconscious mind. It's an awareness that something is going on, right? But you don't have to buy into it. You are not anxiety. You are not anxious. You're noticing a feeling of anxiety. You've noticed it. You are not anxiety itself. So it's important to this acknowledge and this allow, practice being the observer, right? Practice detaching, like you're playing this video game called life and your spiritual self is up there playing. Oh, wow. Yeah. So just treat it like that. Another option, you can place a hand over your heart and observe the sensation of tension or heaviness or whatever sensation, something in your tummy. Ooh, there's something going on. Yeah, in Vipassana meditation, they would teach us whenever you had some kind of pain in your body, whether it was a cramp in my hips or knees or ankles or back or bum or wherever, don't label it as, oh, that hurts, that's painful. You label it as sensation. Sensate, interesting. I have a sensation in my back, in my tummy, in my leg, in my hips. Interesting. Oh, there you are. Hello, tension. I see you. Then just imagine that feeling, that sensation, or whatever it might be, as a cloud passing by in the sky. Acknowledge it without pushing away or grabbing onto it, right? You can't grab onto a cloud. So just acknowledge it, observe it, allow it, and let it go. Bye. See ya. right? Just allow it. Just let it go. It's not yours. It's not you. It's definitely not you. Self-acceptance is you are not anxiety. Self-acceptance is, there's a sensation, there's an emotion. Then you can practice some of those affirmations that we spoke about before. State a self-compassionate phrase such as, I'm doing my best and that's enough for now. Or, I accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. This feeling will pass and I am still worthy of love and respect. Right? Or the other one, I am who I am and that is enough. Right? Whatever affirmation works for you. Just the point here is just keep it short and keep it sharp, like short and sharp and direct, and say it to yourself lovingly. Say it to yourself lovingly, right? You want to hear your loving, caring voice, internal or external, needs to be soothing, because at the moment it's hearing this critic. So you want this calming affirmation to melt away this inner critic. Cool. Okay. Confidence versus arrogance. Who can tell me, guys, what do you think the difference is? Tell me in the chat box here. What are some, I think we've covered enough about confidence so far. Tell me, how is arrogance different? How is arrogance different to confidence? And just to remind us about confidence, I can pull those up. So we're secure in our abilities. I'm open to learn. I'm humble. I'm grounded when I'm confident. I listen actively and I do value feedback. I encourage others. I uplift others when I'm confident. I acknowledge mistakes. I might say sorry. I'm self-assured and respectful. I seek growth and collaboration, calm and composed, focused on self-improvement, and earns respect through actions, right? Not because I'm the boss. Any suggestions though? How is arrogance different, do you think? Arrogant might come from insecurity. Very nice. Yeah, often. Often arrogance comes from insecurity when people are full of themselves. Yep, absolutely. Um, oh, thanks, guys, for sharing. This is awesome. Arrogance is a belief that you are better than everyone else or than you actually are. You do not seek growth as you think they're the best already. I am the smartest person in the room. There's nothing that you can teach me. I know everything, right? No one likes working with someone like that. Arrogance. I'm better than others. I don't listen. I don't care of the impact of my actions. Yeah, this is just the way that I am. And I'll get to that point in a moment. Inflated sense of superiority, disrespectful, and compare self with others. Yeah, usually by putting other people down. This is what happens with arrogant people because deep inside, they are insecure. So to help them feel better about themselves, if they put other people down, then guess what? Now they are superior. That's the strategy. That is now it is a survival mechanism, right? We can actually have empathy for people who are arrogant because we know that deep inside there's a hurt little boy or a hurt little girl in there who just tried to survive through a tough childhood and or adolescence. And so their coping mechanism to help them to feel better about themselves is to put other people down by creating that self-doubt and blaming and so on and so on. Right. So here are our arrogance. Yeah, inflates their own abilities, so they make themselves look bigger than they are while dismissing others at the same time. They're boastful and self-centered. They interrupt people. They think they're the smartest in the room. They ignore feedback, putting others down to feel superior, blames or denies fault. Wasn't me. Hot potato, hot potato. They are dominant and condescending. Again, trying to be smarter than the other people in the room. Seek power and control. Defensive and reactive. Focused on proving superiority and demands respect. Yeah, I don't think that works so well these days. All right. And go. Any questions so far? Okay, yeah, thanks. So here are some simple techniques. The computer's just got a mind of its own now. I guess I just need to learn to accept my computer just the way that it is. Here are some simple techniques to show up fully even in high pressure situations. Those high pressure situations, like having to deal with someone that is arrogant or with a strong ego, they can absolutely trigger. And by trigger, we mean automatic and unconscious and negative. They will trigger the self-doubt, the anxiety, and or the overthinking. Radical self-acceptance allows you to show up just as you are as your authentic self. Here are a few techniques. Grounding exercise. So you can, let me move this over here somewhere. Take 3 slow, deep breaths and notice your feet on the ground. So when you're doing this, hopefully, if you know you're about to deal with someone who is somewhat a bit of a challenge, then you can prepare yourself beforehand, right? And when we talk about 3 slow, deep breaths, we simply call it conscious breathing, right? You can do that as you're going between meetings. You can do that in the elevator. You can do that in the bathroom. You can do that just as you're sitting down and opening up your laptop. You can do it without anybody even noticing you, right? You won't go like this. That might get some people's attention that you don't want. Now, again, feet on the ground, we're talking about being grounded here. So many people, when they sit, they either cross their legs or they do, funny things with their toes. Just make sure your feet are flat on the ground. And because it helps you to calm your nervous system, it helps you to anchor you in the present moment, right? And what happens when you're in the present moment? You're not in that old program where those triggers exist. When you're in the present moment, you have a greater ability to adapt or to respond instead of react to what's going on with that person or that high pressure situation. A sigh of relief. I recently spent 7 days at a master breathwork session, a full week. And this is what I learned. When you're feeling stressed, you can take in a deep breath and you can let it out like this. Let me show you. I'll do the demo. Now, this one, in the beginning, you do it out loud. So don't do it in the middle of the meeting just yet. Now, this is a natural physiological response of when you've come out of a stressful period. Think about it. When you've been, having a meeting and there's some kind of key decision done or something stressful has just passed, unconsciously, automatic, we go, oh, geez, I'm glad that's finished, right? And we do it all of the time. You're doing it unconsciously already between 10 to 20 times per day. And if you do it consciously, similar to the first tip that we saw there, it is a beautiful way to bring your nervous system out of fight, flight, or freeze to bring it back into a neutral position. In other words, you're not charged. So again, you can do this between meetings. You can do 2 or 3 of them in a row. And it relaxes everything, your whole body, your mind, your nervous system, your emotions, and it takes a couple of seconds. Now, you can do it in a meeting. right? But not with the lips, right? Just let it out, compose yourself, count to 10, do whatever you need to do before responding instead of reacting. Micro affirmations. Have a few short affirmations ready, like I am enough. I can handle this moment. I got this. I am who I am, and that is enough. Whatever you need to do to just give you these little micro affirmations in order that you break that pattern of your thoughts immediately going to that negative place, that self-doubt, that inner critic, that, oh my goodness, what are they? Oh, they just folded their arms. Oh my God, they don't like what I'm saying. All of that's assumption and mind read. So we don't do any of that anymore. Just keep retrain your brain with these little positive affirmations. Visualization. Now, again, depends how much time you have. And if you're doing a presentation, though, and you're leading that presentation or you're leading the meeting and you are feeling a bit anxious or nervous, before the presentation or meeting, spend 2 minutes imagining yourself confident, calm, and fully engaged. But even more important than that, focus on the outcome that you want. So anxiety comes up when we focus on what we don't want, right? So, oh, I don't want the technology to crash. Oh, I don't want the boss to ask me a difficult question. Oh, I don't want everyone to be silent and not engaged. Oh, and then as you focus on what you don't want, the result is called anxiety. Whoop, here it comes. So when you are feeling anxious or nervous, that is a clue from your body that you're focusing on what you don't want. So what should you do? There's that should word. What would be better to do? It would be better to focus on what you do want. Focus on the positive outcomes and focus on that. And then always do your best. You can't do better than your best. So prepare, do your visualization, and you will be fine. And of course, you have your power pose. Shoulders back, head up, right? Hands on the hips. Now, don't walk around like, Wonder Woman or Superman. That could look a little bit weird. And there is an extra tip here. Do your best not to look down with your eyes. When you look down, you're engaging the self-talk aspect of your brain and your emotions. Now, if you already feel confident, that's okay. You'll be standing up nice and tall, and that's okay. And if you start to feel anxious, your eyes will automatically go down. And because you're feeling anxious, your self-talk is going to go back to that negative side. So when you catch yourself, look up, take that deep breath, look around the room, find a friend, have a chit chat, have a sip of coffee. Just do your best to keep your eyes more at the level upright area. So here is the confidence toolkit to help you navigate work and life with ease. Now, again, don't take it personally. It's here for a reason. Guess what? Toxic behavior in others is not yours to own. So if someone is being toxic to you, don't take it personally. Their toxic behavior says more about them than it ever will about you. And you want to rise above their toxic behavior. You don't need to stoop down to their level. That's where they live, that's where they thrive. So, no, you be the bigger person and you don't take it personally. What others say or do has nothing to do with you. So again, maybe they're not toxic, but maybe they're getting angry and frustrated and they're blaming you and all of this kind of stuff. Their emotional outburst, that's their stuff. That is a signal that they have low emotional intelligence. So guess what? If they have low emotional intelligence, that's their stuff. It's not yours. So you don't need to take it personally, right? Oftentimes it's their stuff. Yeah, many people project their own insecurities onto others. So, for those people who are a little bit insecure, who want to put people down, they're often giving away their own insecurity by their finger pointing and their blaming and their ridiculing and their finger pointing on other people. In other words, whenever they say, "Oh, you don't care about this project," chances are they don't care about this project. Or, "Why are you so stupid? Why are you so incompetent?" What they're really saying is, "Oh, I'm the stupid one and I'm the incompetent one." They are projecting their own insecurities onto other people. Why? Because in that moment, they're not elevating themselves, they're trying to put you down. But the only way that you can go down is if you take it personally. So instead, what do? You don't take it personally. That's right. Just don't take it personally. They can project all they want. What they will observe very, very quickly when they see that you don't take their accusations personally, when they see that they cannot ruffle your feathers, they will change their focus onto someone else because they're not bringing you down to their level, right? Think about it. When we barely know someone and they say, "Oh, you're an idiot," you go, "Who are you?" Often it's the people that are closest to us that we take it so personally. But guess what? Even the family and the friends or your significant other, they are projecting their own insecurities onto you as well. And remember, for many people, it is a survival mechanism that they learned when they were a child. So when you get this, that when people are acting out, it's their own stuff, it's not about you, it can actually help us to have a little bit of empathy for them. Yep. Most people react from their protective personality. So, another word for ego, as has been beautifully defined by Dr. Sue Morter, she calls it a protective personality, right? So, this ego, this better than, this arrogance, there's a little boy or a little girl that's just trying to survive. They've developed these walls to try to protect themselves, their protective personality. Because if we saw who they really are, they would be afraid, they would be insecure. And well, in survival mode, we can't show the world that. So we build up these big walls, this protective personality and this mask so people can't get through to that vulnerable inner little boy or little girl. So, again, with this awareness, we can actually have more empathy. Other people's anger and frustration, it is theirs to own. So, don't take it personally, right? So many options here on how to not take it personally. When you don't take it personally, the self doubt is gone because you are secure enough in your own abilities to handle this thing. Even if you did make a mistake, even if you did something wrong, you can own it, you can clean it up, you can say your apologies, and you can also reassure yourself that in that moment, you did the best that you could. Cool? Excellent. And my final thoughts on this beautiful topic for today, and thank you guys. This is more like a passion topic that I wanted to share about today because, years and years ago, I did not feel comfortable in my own skin. It was back when I learned NLP for the very first time back in Australia 25 years ago. They didn't call it NLP, they called it the experience. And at the beginning of that workshop, here I am, 2 meters tall, skinny like a pencil, had self-worth issues my whole life, got teased for being so tall. Some of you who have not met me, I'm 2 meters tall, right? And they would tease me and look at you, or legs, 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 and then a head, or what's the weather like up there? And you tall piece of beep. The Aussies know what I'm talking about. So yeah, not really cool growing up. And so it wasn't until I learned these tools and techniques of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, that after 4 short days, that workshop was, for the very, very first time, I felt comfortable in my own skin. I'd found radical self acceptance to just be okay with this version of me at this moment in time, knowing that I could still grow and improve to the next level if that was part of the path that I wanted to take. So, here's some final thoughts. Deep down, we're not really worried about what other people think about us. We're actually more worried about what you think about yourself. Now, these final thoughts are a little bit deeper. So if they resonate with you, great. If you go, huh, then just let it go, right? Don't take it personally. Just let it go. These are just some final hallucinations and thoughts. So if we fear judgment from others, chances are we're highly critical and judgment of ourselves. Our universe, and this is above my pay grade, by the way, but I've been around for 50 something years these days, and I attract whatever's going on in my head. And I don't want to get into woo woo, wah wah, or, metaphysics or the law of attraction or anything right now. It's like whatever's going on inside of me, I am aware of it outside of me. And so, if you want to develop yourself beyond the standard, here's a trick. Whatever behaviors or actions you see in others that really, really push your button, take a moment and ask yourself, is that behavior true for me? Now, I'm not necessarily talking about one-off behavior that guy's an asshole and it's just a one-off kind of thing. But if you find yourself attracting similar people with similar behaviors, pushing your same buttons, then the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is giving you a mirror so you can take a long, hard look at yourself and say, huh, is that true for me? And then you can do a process of self-awareness and you can accept that as you're going along. You might be shocked at first. Think, oh, wow, maybe that is a part of me. Maybe I just discovered something about me that I did not know that I did not know. So that's going to rock your world for a day, a week, a month. And that's okay. At the other side of that is radical self-acceptance. You don't fear the unknown because it's unknown, right? We talked beginning about the importance of stepping out of the comfort zone into uncertainty, and that confidence is your ability to deal with uncertainty. Well, how can we fear the unknown if it's unknown? Let me say that again. How can we actually fear the unknown if it's unknown? We don't actually know. What we do know is that we're actually projecting from our own past, including the parts of you and experiences and events from the past that you've not accepted yet. So if you've not accepted something about yourself, in other words, you're feeling guilt or shame about that thing, guilt, shame, and regret about that thing, and you've not accepted it yet, guess what? You are throwing that into in your best Thai accent, future, right? It's going to land right there in the future because guess what? You take you with you wherever you go. You take it with you. And so until you make peace with that stuff that happened in the past, that either those parts of you, the guilt, the shame, the things that you did wrong, and or those experiences or events with other people, until you can make some kind of peace with it and accept it for the isness that it is, that it's already happened, and you can actually learn something from it, then and only then will you be able to step into the unknown without fear. Why? Because you will be creating your future. So again, you ask yourself that beautiful coaching question, what needs to happen to get to acceptance with that part of me or from that event or situation in the past? And as my good mate Tony Robbins says, life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Now, this is a pretty radical belief change. Many people who are living at the effect of life, this kind of victimhood, they're saying, oh, why does this always happen to me? Oh, it's not fair. Why do they so, oh, why me? Well, that's the mentality that life is happening to you. The truth is that life is happening for you, in your favor, including the challenges, and especially the challenges. Why? Because in every challenge is a learning and a growth opportunity. And as you can learn and you can grow, then you get to that next level of your success. And then this level of peace that you feel inside as you accept yourself, because you have learned to accept all of those parts of you. And in doing that, you have this quiet, humble confidence where it doesn't really matter what other people say or do, because you're so focused on doing your thing for the people that you care about. Cool? Whew, crikey, that was fun. Any questions? Now's a good time to pop some questions into the chat box, please. And just as I wrap up, I mentioned NLP. It was the start of my journey into personal and professional development. It's neuro-linguistic programming. We have a session coming up in November. That's right, it's in Bangkok. It is only available face to face, so if you're in Malaysia or Singapore, come on and join us. You will learn some of those things that you don't know about yourself. Massive self-awareness, improve your mental health, massively improve your communication internally, the way that you talk to yourself, and externally, the way that you talk to the world around you, which means influence. Increase your emotional intelligence. You're able to reframe those negative events from the past. You can't change the event, but you can change your thinking about the event in order that you are free from that event. Personal growth and relationships. Special investment, only 55,000 baht. And if you're wanting to develop confidence in speaking to a crowd, we have the facilitator training program on 9th to 10th of October, also in Bangkok, 9 till 6, where you will discover the ability to master your facilitation with the facilitator's code. You will learn to create your presentation, whether you're doing a meeting, a presentation, a webinar, or a full-blown course. You need to know how to create it. Now, a lot of what we've been talking about today, this radical self-acceptance and confidence, that's happening right here in the own it, right? You got to own this, what you've just created. You've taken these thoughts and you've articulated it in a way you want to share it with the world. Well, you now need to own it in every neuron of your body. Then it's time to deliver, whether it's online, hybrid, or face-to-face. You're going to learn all the tips and tricks that we do here at Coachology. And then finally, engage. How do you deal with troublemakers? Ooh, how do you ask questions? How do you answer tough questions from the audience? And of course, there's a special investment for that. It's only 17,500 baht for it's a 2-day program in Bangkok. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can do so right there. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Vicky. NLP changed my whole outlook and mindset. Highly recommended. Thank you very much. Ikram, we will see you next year for the NLP. Thank you, Shagufta. Nice to see you again. The best course ever. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everyone. It was really nice to see some familiar faces again. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session as much as I did. It'll be up on YouTube in the next hour or so. If you got some benefit, feel free to share it with a friend. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're knocking on the door of 1,000 subscribers. Apparently, it's some milestone in YouTube world. So we have another webinar next week on Thursday. Can't remember the topic. Anywho, keep your eyes open for the email. There'll be another passion project that I'll be delivering next week. So until then, stay cool, stay awesome, and I will see you when I look at you somewhere in the world. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Ciao.